Well, my name is Jane Brennan, and I'm playing Eamon de Valera.
And I'm Jonathan White, and I'm playing David Lloyd George.
He's such an iconic figure, he's such a divisive figure. He's a character that inspires absolute reverence from some people and absolute loathing from others. So it's just trying to find a line in which to play him as truthfully as I can.
For me, playing David Lloyd George was a completely different kettle of fish, in that few enough people in Ireland certainly could pick him out of a lineup of British Prime Ministers, but he was an extraordinary man in that he's the only Welshman ever to be Prime Minister. He was possibly the first working class person to be Prime Minister. He must have relished the challenge of negotiating an Irish treaty, and I think saw himself as possibly the man to do it.
The Welsh wizard.
The Welsh wizard. Growing this moustache was probably my biggest challenge, and getting my wife to accept it for the length of time it took to grow it and do the show. Apart from that, it was a walk in the park.
He's got a very particular voice and cadence and rhythm, and I suppose trying to nail that and be a woman at the same time, playing that, trying to do it with find a credible way of doing that is a big challenge.
The two characters don't appear together in the play, although they are the leaders of their respective countries at the time. They had met in the run-up to the treaty negotiations. They had a series of meetings in London. I think, although they don't meet, they're very aware of each other. They're very aware of each other's reputations.
There is a kind of relationship of, being very aware of each other as leaders and the power that they have.
I'm kind of in awe of the Irish delegation, who were not practiced politicians, who had found themselves thrust into this role on the back of a very vicious war to try and bring peace in a situation where people back home expected perfection.
I'm very moved by the negotiators and their commitment and their, the ultimate rock and hard place that they were in, and how difficult the situation it was. They had a threat of war hanging over them one way or the other, no matter what they did. War, an Anglo-Irish war or a civil war. And so there was no winners. It's really great to be back in the room with a whole big bunch of actors. There's 12 of us, I think, in the cast, isn't it? And it's lovely to be working with people like Jonathan and a whole lot of people who I've enjoyed working with over the years, but for the last 2 years obviously haven't had any chance to even meet, let alone work with. So it's been fantastic, and we're really enjoying working for Fishamble. They're a lovely company to work for.
This is my 4th time to work on a script of Colin Murphy's, where he takes events, whether recent or not so recent, and through an amazing alchemy turns them into incredibly watchable stage drama. And the combination of himself and Conall Morrison finding a way for us to communicate this story in a way that's both intelligible and relevant it's terribly energizing, it's terribly tiring, it's a bit head melting as you go through it, but it's so rewarding at the end of the day.